Adventurers, travelers, and all those that wander but just might be a little bit lost. Welcome to Point Noir, home of the Point Noir podcast. I'm your host and guide, as always, Jerry III, aka The Kimono Jack, and I'm so excited that you guys are here joining us for the 29th session of the Point Noir podcast. The show's been growing, a little bit of buzz has been forming, and I just want to give a quick shout out to all those who have been supporting us from day one and all the new Point Noir family that's been out there listening. Like, I see y'all. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. If you haven't taken a second yet, start your 2019 off right. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Subscribe to the show. Follow us on IG at Point Noir Show. And that way we can stay a little bit in closer touch. We're super responsive when it comes to DMs, comments on the page, even the reviews. We read them all, and we love to get your feedback so that we can change up the content and give you guys more of what you're looking for, whether that be travel tips or inspiration or specific guests you want on the show. Just let us know. We're there for you. We're definitely going to respond to you. Without further ado, let's introduce today's special guest. Joining us today as our special guest at The Point is author, entrepreneur, and traveler Ramon Smothers. You can find out everything he's up to on Instagram at Ramon_Smothers, and definitely check out his latest venture where he creates custom suits for the men who dare to dream in style called Legacy Lapels at Legacy Lapels. This is a really awesome episode. We talk about his introduction into travel, how he ended up marrying his travel muse, how he's never been on a solo trip, and all the great things and benefits he's gotten from exploring and discovering more about himself. But the most interesting part about this episode is the discussions on mindset and goal setting that we do. Ramon shares some great tips and strategies he's used to have success, not only with travel, but with business. And I think you guys are really going to appreciate that. So as always, find a comfortable place, grab a refreshing beverage of choice. And for this one, you might want pen and paper to jot down any ideas you have. But I hope you guys enjoy this session, and I'll see you on the flip side. Yo, what is going on, Ramon? Welcome to the Point Noir podcast. How you feeling today, fam?
Man, I'm feeling amazing, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. And we've been trying to connect for a while over a whole bunch of stuff, but I found your profile on Instagram. I was impressed by the travel photos, all the kind of wisdom you drop, and I was like, yo, I got to get this guy on the show.
Yeah, man. I'm glad we finally got to link up too. Like you said, we've been DMing for seems like an entire year now, and
right.
We finally made it happen. So I'm excited.
Yeah, man, I'm grateful. So let's just get right into it, man. Can you tell the people a little bit about your origins as an adventurer, as a traveler? How'd you get started?
Yeah. So, man, I have to honestly, I grew up in a small town, and the idea of traveling wasn't even just something that I was interested in, bro. And I met this cool girl. Like in college, and she was always the adventurous type. And that girl is my wife these days. But
wow, that's a good eye. Shout out to you for.
But she, like, we used to go, and we were in college, and she was like, let's take a road trip to Florida. And we was going to school in like Louisiana. And she was like, let's just go to Florida. And I'm like, Florida? That's like a 6-hour drive. And she was like, yeah, we could just drive and go out to the beach.
Right.
And so that's how it started, man. We just started taking these road trips to Florida like once or twice a year. And we just fell in love with beaches. And then eventually, man, I fell in love with the idea of traveling. And so some of my ideas were just like, let's go to Vegas, let's go to LA, let's go to New York a few times. And then it just expanded to overseas traveling and stuff. And so that's kind of how I fell in love with it and how I started.
That's really funny, man. The inspirational powers of a woman, I'll tell you.
And for real, man. And they definitely get you outside your comfort zone, man. But like you said, yeah, you fall in love with traveling and fall in love with someone else all at the same time.
Oh, man, that's real. I love that you started domestically. You started small, just a road trip, 6-hour road trip, because, you know, a lot of our guests, most of them have international experience. You know, and I think the perception is, oh, you got to be going to China, you got to be going to Europe to really be a traveler. But it starts with that first road trip, right?
Man, yeah, because there's so many beautiful places in the USA that we haven't even tapped and experienced. I mean, we took a road trip out to Oklahoma,
Mm-hmm.
like a 6 hour drive, man, and it's beautiful. The mountains up there and beautiful, and they have all these beautiful lakes and creeks, and we hiked and we did all type of things, bro. And it was like, man, we didn't realize that something this beautiful was only 6 hours away from us out here in Texas. So yeah, I advise, man, yeah, start small and see the beauty that we have here in America. And then, yeah, of course, the world is vast as well. So you'll see that over time too.
Right, 100%. There's no rush. Like, take it at your own pace. Do what works for you. But having that new experience, having your eyes open to something that could be, as close as 6 hours away, that's worth it. That could change your life.
It definitely can. You're right about that.
Word. So, talk to me about your first international trip. Was that a big deal for you? Were you nervous, or was it something you were looking forward to?
um, yeah, it
And
was
this was
def-
with your girlfriend, wife at the time too.
yeah, uh-huh.
Wow, you
Yeah.
had a guide. Wow, a travel muse. Shout out to
So
you. Shout out to you. Out. You know what? Yeah, that's a big deal.
it is, man. It is like getting passports together and doing all that, man, and getting our first stamps, and that was a big deal. And I think our first international flight was, um, I want to say to Thailand. I want to say, um,
Y'all went
like
deep in. Y'all went for the.
right. We didn't we skipped Dominican, we skipped the close places, we skipped Jamaica, and we went straight 21 hours around the world.
Wow.
But it was something, man, I was excited about. Now we didn't do we did the we did it like the formal way. I think we found some things maybe like on Groupon, and it was like a 14-day tour. So we were with this bus of people, and we went all over Thailand, and we was on this like tour bus, and we had these guides, and we went to like 7 different cities, and I want to say 12 days. That's what it was. 7 or 8
Okay.
different cities in 12 days. Stayed at 5 different hotels, and so I mean that was like cool. But like leading up to it, yeah, I was very excited. Um, very, very, very looking forward to it. I mean, all that, the flight, the thought of the flight. They said it was 21 hour flight. That didn't bother me. I was just like, I got
Really?
my movies downloaded. I got my movies downloaded. I'm planning on sleeping the entire time, and it was like I was just ready. I was more excited than anything.
Wow. I haven't been on a 21-hour straight flight. I've been on some long travel days, but I know being in that can in the sky for 12 hours straight like that, like some people get real anxiety about it.
Ah, right, 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 man. Well, I'll tell you this: we slept most of the time. Like it's not that it wasn't that bad when you sleep half the time. Like I mean, if you think about it, if you sleep 8, 9 hours out of those 12 hours and watch 1 or 2 movies, and then shoot, you're at your destination at that point.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. You're right.
so so that's kind of how we maintained. That's how we managed it, and it wasn't that bad. And then, of course, they when you're on a flight like that, they feed you, um, I guess 3 times, and then you have snacks in between. So we were always kind of full and sleepy, and that's how that went.
Full and sleepy. That's what we like. Uh, I love it. I'm
Yeah.
fascinated though that your introduction to travel, even starting with that trip to Florida,
hmm
was with somebody, and that you've kind of I mean, you've definitely continued that progression. You married her. You guys have traveled the world together. Started, gotten your passports together. What has that experience been like, and what do you think that has given you in terms of a travel experience?
Oh man, I don't know. It definitely strengthens the bond, like with that person when you're able to experience the world, like things that you growing up, I didn't even think was possible. I don't think I got on my first plane ride or got on my first flight until college, and that was because of college football. and
Right.
we would travel to games on our planes. So that may have been 19, 20 years old the first time I got on the plane. And being able to, I guess, do that with someone that you love and someone that you trust and someone that you admire, it definitely brings an added beauty to the world. The world is already a beautiful place, but doing it with someone, someone that's special, someone that you love, and someone that you think is beautiful as well, it does something. It adds a bit more beauty to the place that you're going to,
Right.
and then it deepens that love for the entire experience, the entire flight, the place that you're visiting, and for that person. So I don't know, man. Yeah, that's just something that I think if anybody has the chance to do or the ability to do, uh, take advantage of it. Try it, because yeah, it adds to everything. It amplifies the entire experience.
Right. It sounds like it enhances the experience, a little bit of extra magic sauce on the trip. Yeah. But I mean, I definitely feel and I completely respect that you're saying this truthfully, but on this side, it looks easy. In the beginning side though, I feel like it's a test. It can deepen it, but it also is a challenge. So talk to me about those first travel experiences. Like, did you guys always get along? Were you guys always thick as thieves, or some of these trips, offered opportunities for you guys to learn where y'all really disagree about stuff? Did any of that happen?
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you go, she's the more like, when, say for instance, we're going to a resort,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the type of guy, or not even a resort, just we go to another city, uh, we get us a nice hotel room or whatever the case, and I'm the guy on vacation. I like to chill. I like to chill in a room. I
Right.
like to enjoy that soft bed. I like to enjoy the room service. Watch some ESPN, and she's all like, "Let's get out this room. Let's do this. Let's do that." So that was the first, I guess, the first like telltale sign that we would have to compromise on some of these trips. But
I can see. Listen here, baby girl. We're gonna have to compromise because you doing too much.
cause she's the type, man. She's like, I hate being in the hotel room when she goes somewhere, and I'm like, man, look, I want to, like, when I'm on vacation, I'm trying to relax, you know.
Right.
And she wants to hop in every cab, go around the city, and see, which is a beautiful thing. I don't discredit that, or discourage her from doing that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
But for a few hours, let me relax. Let me relax a little bit, and let's watch some TV. Let's chill in this hotel room. So that
Right.
was the first. That was the first thing we had to learn about each other when we take these trips. That one is more laid back. I want to relax. Sometimes when I'm on vacation, I want to get away from work. I want to get away from doing things. I just want to relax. And she's like, well, let's go here. Let's go there. Let's go here. Let's take a cab here. And she just hates being in the hotel room the entire day. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we had to get used to that, and we had to come to an agreement on a few things. But all in all,
Right.
yeah, all in all, it's a pretty dope experience, man.
Okay, so do you guys manage that? Like, do you go on a trip with an itinerary? Who designs your itinerary? And you guys maybe do every other day, or you just make sure there's some, time for you to just chill? How have you guys successfully navigated that?
I'm actually the itinerary guy. Like, we went out to LA for a few days, maybe like 4 or 5 days,
Mm-hmm.
and I had this list in my notes section, in my phone, list of places that we wanted to see, and so we were able to balance that, because she's just like, okay, like when she gets there, she just, nothing planned, she just want to go, and I'm like, okay, well, if we want to get these places, then we got to be here, we got to do this, and we got to take this, we got to take this Uber there, we got to take this Uber there. So I was the itinerary guy. I had the Culver City Stairs on there. I had Long Beach. I had, I guess, maybe like 10 to 15 different places. The Getty Museum.
Yo, how long were you in LA for?
Like 5 days, man. And we were able to see pretty much all of them.
Wow.
All those places. And then we were able to get some chill time too when we got back to the room. So that's how we navigate that. Like I'm the kind of itinerary guy, and I plan the things, and we
Hmm.
just knock them out like that.
Okay. Keeping in mind that, we're going to have a mix of activities, and I'm also going to schedule some chill time where we do nothing but like recover or.
Right. Yeah, most of the time it's recovered. Like,
Yeah. I mean, 15, you said 15 and I started getting anxious. I was like, what, what's going on? Is LA closing forever? Like, why are we going to 15 stops? But I get it.
yeah, man, we just had so much stuff that we wanted to see. And I mean, if you think about it, you can hit 3 places a day in LA if we're there for 5 days.
Right.
Yeah, so we were able to knock them out. And then, because I remember we left that evening. We left and then we had an evening flight, and our last stop was like Long Beach. So we drove out to Long Beach that morning and just chilled out like on the I think it's like they have like a lighthouse out there on Long Beach, and it's like a seawall, like a little boardwalk type deal. And we went there the
Right.
last morning we were there, and then we were able to drive back in and catch our flight later that evening. So we knocked off everything just in the right amount of time.
Hey man, that's a skill set right there. I do not possess that, so my hat is off to you, bro. I the word itinerary gives me a rash. I just I'm just happy to wake up in different places sometimes.
Right.
But I think it's dope, man. I think the ability for travel to really learn another person while you're in a new changing environment, I think is super dope, and it's something I look forward to doing eventually one day. But until then, it's pretty much solo dolo. But I like to hear different perspectives. You're not the only guest that travels with other people, and I think it's really creative how you guys have deepened your relationship by exploring new shit together. It's cool.
Yeah, man. How is the solo? You know what? I've never done much solo travel. Like how do you enjoy it?
I love it because I'm just curious and love experiences, and usually don't like to move at the pace of other people. So I can move when I want. If I plan my day to be one way and something else inspires me, I can turn on a dime.
Right.
And it's been a little bit stressful when I've tried to travel with potentially significant others, just because you didn't realize you were that different in terms of what you like to do, in terms of what time you even like to wake up to go
Right.
do something. um and I think it really shows you who you're dealing with. So I love traveling solo. I'm free to do what I want, but having a group environment is nice too.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because if you're like you said, if you're used to traveling, you're used to doing things on your time. Like you said, itineraries uh, give you anxiety, and if
Yeah.
you're with someone who's like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, I can see why that'll mess you up. Yeah, I mean it's cool. I think traveling solo, I would love to experience too. Just take a little trip solo and do what it is at my pace. I can only imagine how that feel.
Right. And I mean, I know you're a pretty introspective guy. You spend a lot of time thinking, but ultimately to me, you're always traveling solo because you two might be, watching the same sunset, and that means two different things to each of you. So you're still pulling away things that shape your individual experience and journey, but like you said, having that person next to you is a bonus because, add that to the list. Okay, I'm having this experience and this important person is right next to me. I definitely see how it just adds a little bit more brilliance to these experiences.
Wow, that's so true. That's definitely so true. Like you said, we can be watching the sunset and have a totally different experience. I know sometimes she may point out something that I never noticed, or I may point out something that she never notices, and we're able to share it together. But we had the experience solo before we were able to share it. So yeah, that's so true. I like how you put that.
100%, man. I appreciate it. And also, I want you to look good as hell on record if she ever listens to this. So, I mean, shout out to you. Maturity in relationships. We all about that shit.
Yeah.
And not to harp too much on the couple travel thing, but I think it's fascinating, potentially a powerful way to travel. Do you guys have any, hacks or approaches to travel that you use by maybe leveraging both of your credit card points, or maybe somebody, has a connection with flight passes? Is there any sort of way that you guys combine your resources to make travel easier and maybe more affordable?
I tried, but I guess I'm the guy who focuses on credit card points. Like I'm the
Okay.
guy. I'm the guy. I'm the guy who's trying to utilize our points and do more things with that. And she's just like, let's just book a flight.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hadn't mastered that, man. I would love to get more experienced in the hacking space, but I tried
Right.
it maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, and yeah, the most I was able to do was gather up a few free points from paying off my mortgage and stuff, and taking a trip like that. I think that's how we went to LA, on some points and things like that. But yeah, man,
Right.
if it's any hacks that you'd like to share with me, I'm all ears.
There's this interesting podcast called Point Noir where we talk about shit like this. I'm kidding. I mean, but it could be even something as simple as like, you sign up for one airfare deal site, she signs up for another, and by looking through your inboxes over a couple months, you guys can, talk about deals. I'm all about processes. So,
Hmm.
yeah, the points are one, and actually, there's an account on IG. I'll shout them out because they're friends of the show now. But Road to 100 Countries is a husband and wife couple, Ronnie and Dr. Sheba, and they're coming out with a whole credit card point system, like how they've been not paying for hotels for the past 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So as soon as I get the info, I think they're developing the content now. I want to review it. I want to see if it's good. I want people to know about it because points are, I mean, my first trip to Paris cost me $75 because I used points the right way.
Wow. How was Paris?
Paris was a trip. I was in a corporate situation,
Okay.
was just fed up, bro. And I think it's kind of similar to some of your story that I know, whereas, I thought I could be more and I needed to put myself in a new place to kind of test that. So I quit my job. That was a big deal, left my family.
Mm.
And, I was an undocumented immigrant for a year and a half.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So that was an extended vacay.
Yeah, that was an indefinite vacation, as they call it. Yeah,
Oh
bro.
man, we'll have to talk more about that.
Oh, for sure. We're going to kick it. But I know that you have a lot of insights about life. I know you have a full career as a speaker. You have a book. You're an author. You're almost like a mentor. You have a podcast as well. I'm curious to see what travel has brought to you in terms of making yourself a better man.
You know what? I like to think of. I don't know, when I think, like you said, I'm an introspective person. When I so
Hmm.
I so I go in often. I guess the traveling aspect has made me see that, okay, yeah, we're traveling this world, but this world among us is, I mean, this world is just a speck in, the entire story of what we have going on here. And it's just one planet in an immense universe. And so when I
Right.
start to think about the size of the universe and the size of this planet that we're on compared to the size of the universe, like what is, like, it gets me thinking about just purpose. And if we're living on this planet for 75, 80, 85 years, the average life expectancy, but this planet has been spinning for millions of years, what am I going to do with those 75 to 85 years? Because the planet is going
Mm.
to keep spinning. The planet is going to keep spinning for maybe a million more years after I leave. And I only
Right.
get 75 to 85 of them out of those millions. Like, that's a blink of an eye in the
Right.
terms of, the entire, I guess, everything that we have going. And so that's how like you said, I have a lot going on. I own a few businesses. I try to inspire because I realize that, yeah, we only got 75, 85 years to live our true potential, to do what it is that we want to do, to see the places that we want to see, and
Right.
to travel this world. So how are you going to live those? Because we're almost halfway there, you know. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm 30.
Right.
I'm almost halfway done. So,
I'll give you a third. I'll give you a third because they're coming out with some
right.
3D printed livers and stuff like that. You'll be all right.
Right.
I'll give you 90. I'll give you
Okay,
90.
yeah, let's do 90. Let's do 90. Round it off and give me a third. I like that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so that's why I'm always motivated and inspired, and I try to inspire other people, and I've kind of made it my mission to inspire and to just encourage people to just live these 90 years the best way that they can, and do those things and go to those places and see the world and travel and start their businesses and write their books, or start their podcasts, do all the things that they may be afraid of doing.
Right. Because we definitely don't get the time back, out of all the resources, you can get money back, you can get, houses back. You can't get time back.
Right. Exactly. I have this screensaver. Let me see the name of it, but it weirds my wife out because it's like a count. It's like a constant timer that's going off, and
it's a death clock.
It's counting up. It's just counting the days that I've been here and to the exact second. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's not counting to my death. It's counting up, but it's just counting like I don't know. It's just a constant clock that's just going off, and it just, I don't know. For me, it's just a reminder of what I've done to appreciate every second, to not think about the past, and not to harp so much on the future, but just realize that every second counts, and every decision and every choice counts as well. So.
Right, and I maybe went a little bit dramatic with the death clock thing, but I didn't know where you're going with it. Are you familiar with Stoicism, some of the Stoic philosophers and philosophy?
I've looked into it, man. I heard Tim Ferriss speak on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I looked into it. Yeah, but I hadn't looked into it too much.
Okay. And it's super funny you would mention Tim Ferriss specifically, because what got me leaving and, really starting to be an adventurer was the 4-Hour Work Week. I love that book. I think it's I won't say I love the book. I was inspired by the book. I think the book is a little bit problematic and challenging. But one of the exercises he had you do was literally write down the worst case scenario if you were going to make a decision. And mine was traveling to Paris, France. So I still have the journal too. I should probably take a picture of it and post it. And it was, bro, that exercise changed my life, and it challenged me. I wrote down the worst case scenario, like kind of on that darker death clock thing, like, yo, this is bad. I'm out in the streets. I'm homeless. I don't have any money. My heart's broken. It's raining, like dramatic. And then you say, okay, if this is the worst case scenario, could you deal with that? And if so, what would you do? And you start planning from the worst case scenario with the end in mind. And you start to feel a hell of a lot more confident about going into new things, whether that be travel or starting a business. It's a really interesting exercise in that book.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I am familiar with that exercise, but I think I used it when I left my job, when I was able to quit my job, or when I was laid off from my job. I was like, and I started this.
When they suggested you leave your job.
Yeah. Suggested.
You ran out of job. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Indefinite time before I get another one.
Right.
So I think I did take a page out of that exercise, and I was like, okay, well, what's the worst case scenario when I'm starting my business? And it's like, well, worst case scenario is I'll probably just get another engineering job. Like it's not that bad, but. So it's like, but it made entrepreneurship a little bit like not. It's not easy, to deal with it, but it just made it like thinking of what's the worst case scenario.
Right.
I'll just get another job if I have to, but so that made the leap just a little bit more, comfortable. Not comfortable, but it made it a little bit more easily digestible. But what were you saying about the Stoics?
Oh, it comes from that. That's kind of a Stoic philosophy. So I'm not huge into Stoicism, but it's really gotten me this far. And it's a couple simple things that usually start with, looking in, exercises like visualizing your death and mortality, realizing that, hey, I only have 90 years on this planet. So my clock on my computer would be a countdown. I'd put a date out, 70 years in the future and say, okay, this is how much time you have left. Are the things that you're engaged in moving you towards your ambitions, or are they just taking up time? Just to always be reminded that this is fleeting. It can be dark, depending on how you're tuned to it, but ultimately it makes you value what you're experiencing and what you're choosing to do with your time.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And it's cool that you mentioned that word mortality because that's the name of the Chrome extension. It's like a Chrome extension, the clock that I have, and it's called the mortality extension.
Yeah, shout out to Chrome extensions. Y'all check that out, Mortality Chrome extension. I'm gonna check it out too because I mean I think it's interesting to sit down and talk with someone like you because you've experienced travel. You're prolific when it comes to thinking, but you're also an entrepreneur. And so many of our guests, so many, I don't want to call them millennials, but so many of us in this young Black generation are trying to start our own businesses. So seeing how there's common knowledge or shared tools between being an adventurer and seeing the world and having the courage to start your own business, I think is a great thing that people can learn from.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like I said, man, the traveling opens your mind to those possibilities. Well, in my instance, like it's always like, man, this world is a huge place. But when you think about it, we're only here for this amount of time, and so it inspires you to whether it's more travel or whether it's doing things that are kind of holding you back. It inspires you to just see more, do more, and ultimately be more. That's what I love about traveling.
100%, bro, and especially on the be more tip, I think that's one thing that this show tries to promote is like, hey, just see yourself in a different light. Listen to these brothers' experience, have a couple of your own, and ultimately, I think travel equals learning. It kind of compresses that learning time frame, which says, oh, wait a second, I might be able to get more done or pick up a new skill set or accomplish more than I ever thought.
And like you said, be more is always like, I guess that's why I put it last because it's all encompassing. When you're able to see more and experience more, and it inspires you. Like, man, you may see something overseas or across the world that you didn't even know was possible. I want to go to Japan and see the skyscrapers and all the industrial things that they have going on over there, and I'm sure it'll inspire me to create more and to see the possibilities that are out there. I think that's one of the things that traveling does. I mean, it's you can see things that you never experienced, and then you can bring that knowledge and that experience back home, and ultimately be more and think outside the box and create from an inspired place. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. I definitely agree. And I'd love to know what place domestically, and I love that you value domestic travel. What experience did you have traveling domestically that inspired you to be more when you came back home? Because you don't always have to go overseas. You could be in Dallas and go to New York and see something that inspires you. Was there a moment where you said, oh, I see what they're doing in this area. I got to take this back and add it to, my life or my town?
Man, I guess when you go out to LA, when you go out to the West Coast, and
Mm-hmm.
and when we were out there, I was already like on my entrepreneurial thing, and I wanted to start my own businesses, and not even being inspired by the material things, but LA is like it's some vibes out there that like you don't experience anywhere else. Like everyone's so nice, everyone's so cordial, uh, everyone is so friendly. The weather is perfect. And then you ride up in the hills. We rode up in the hills and we saw the homes and we rode down Rodeo Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. I mean Rodeo Drive and Hollywood Boulevard. And you get
Right.
to see, I guess, cars that you've never seen before, or just more of these cars and more of these $1 million homes on hills, and it inspires you to be able to like I can do it too, or I can create what it is that I want to create. And
Yeah.
for my wife, where her dream home is in San Diego, like that's where she wants to live. She wants to live in San Diego. She wants to live on the beach out there in San Diego. So I guess LA was that place where like it inspired you, the vibes, the views, the weather, and the lifestyle to come back to Texas, Houston, Texas, and really just create what we want to create so that we can ultimately be more, I guess, and do the things that we really want to do and then able to give the way that we ultimately want to give. LA was that place.
Right. And it sounds like you were able to use that as inspiration to start kind of putting the effort forth to building a pathway to, get that crib in San Diego, because it's difficult to really be inspired sometimes if you can't touch it or see yourself in that experience.
Right. It's only so much Google Maps can show you.
Right.
But so when you go to a place, man, and you really experience that and you get to see it, it's unmatched. And you're able to come back home with a brand new inspiration and it's pure. I don't know, man. This is just like, okay, I can do it. I will do it. And this is what I have to do. So
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. That actually brings up another question to mind,
mhm.
because I know you understand about how, the mind works and inspiration, and, how we can, make our mentality stronger. Do you do anything like a vision board or have a journal where you might have pictures of, that dream house or that next trip or that successful business that kind of keep you inspired and remind you what you're working for?
Yeah, so I have a journal that I keep on my desk at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't created a vision board, but I do journal.
Okay.
And I've written down
Okay.
my goals, and I have like these notepads, these sticky notes all over my office, man. I wish I could take a picture. But it's all kind of inspirational quotes, or it's all kind of things that I want, that I aspire to accomplish. I have actually have a check written out, signed to myself, post dated for 2020
Mm-hmm.
of an amount that I want to
Yeah.
be able to cash, in 2020. So it's just things like that that keeps me inspired in my workspace. The first ever check I signed to myself from my company, I saved that and I have it hanging up, in my office. It's just things like that. I write down, I journal,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's just my to-do list or my goal list for the day, or whether it's the things that I'm grateful for. Or if I forget to do it in the morning, I may jot it down at night, 3 things that I'm grateful for. Just to remain in a place of gratitude and just always remember why I'm doing it, what I'm striving for, and the things that are possible. So yeah, I have quite a few techniques that I use in unison to keep me inspired. So whether it's journaling, sticky notes, or writing checks out to myself and keeping them posted.
I love it, bro. And thank you so much for even sharing that, because sometimes people don't understand, that sometimes it's their mindset that impacts their results. And I know that you've thought a lot about this. And again, there are a lot of shared things between being an entrepreneur and being a traveler or adventurer. And ultimately, it's about setting forth a vision and trying to find a way to execute it. So before we move off this topic, do you have just one method or technique or tactic that people can use to bring their dreams a little bit closer to reality? Whether it be putting up a picture of that nice, the Great Wall of China on their screensaver, or maybe it's a specific journaling exercise. Do you have anything like that you would suggest for people who want to travel could start executing on today?
Yeah, so I can't, because I hadn't exercised it in a while, but it's something that I used to do religiously. It was starting from like 6 months. 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a place you want to go in 6 months, whether it's you want to save up to go on that trip or it's a goal that you want to accomplish within 6 months. Okay, you write down, you go 6 months. Okay, what do I need to do every month to get to that goal in 6 months? And you list a few things every month that will get you closer to that 6 month goal. And then you break it
Mm.
down. Then each month you go, okay, now each week, what can I do to get me closer to that 1 month goal? Is it making
Right.
sense?
It is. It is. If you want, I'll try to interject and break it down. So, let's say I had a 6 month goal to save up, let's say $600, or
Right.
keep the math easy.
Hmm.
And so that means I need to. So what you're doing is you're taking your big goal of saving up $600 to, put down on a flight, we'll say, or put down on a reservation. Now you're going to break that up to do $100 a month, so that at the end of 6 months you'll have $600. And then looking at each month of $100, roughly you need to find a way to save $25 each week. So what can I do? What can I, instead of going out to eat 3 times a week, maybe just two? Will that give me $25 for the week? And then you evaluate each month to see if you're making a $100 target. Is that what we're talking about?
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Thank you for interjecting and breaking that down. So yeah, I mean, and that's something that I've done and I've been able to do, and it works. And even you can even go a step further and write in your journal, each day for that week. After you get to the week, what can I do today that'll get me closer?
Right.
So if I need to save $5 today, so to ensure that I have $25 at the end of the week, then okay, let me put aside my $5. And so it's breaking down that big 6-month goal into smaller tasks that allows you to eventually, take that trip you want to take in 6 months, or start that business that you want to start in 6 months to a year.
100%. I think it's super practical and something that people can start using today. It's simple, but be careful, because for those who might not have tried something like this, and I can tell you from my own experience, the more simple something is, sometimes the easier it is to not do it, because you're like, oh, I got time to write down 3 things I'm grateful for. And a week goes by, you're like, damn, I didn't write down anything. Um,
Right.
but that's a great way to do it, and I've used that method myself. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise on that. As we roll out, man, I want to hear about all the things you have going on, because saving is one way to get places, but also making more money is a great damn solution too. And I know you're in the business of making money, so let's talk about what else you got going on, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, like you said, I do have the book out. It's called The Fear of Greatness. It's available on Amazon. And it's about overcoming fear, discovering your true potential, discovering what fear is and how to recognize it and how to accept it, and then what to do once you actually are able to accept it and realize that it's fear that you're working. I have that available on Amazon, and I also recently launched a custom suit and tuxedo dress shirt custom clothing business that is legacylapels.com. It's created to empower the men who dream in style. And by that I mean
Yeah.
those guys that are inspired by their legacies, by the mark that they want to live. I mean, by the mark that they want to leave. It's for those guys. It's for the world changers, the dream chasers, the creatives, the guys who's out to make the world a better place. I feel like my suit company is it's an empowerment company disguised as a suit company, because I know that a suit for me empowers me more than any other article of clothing. I can put on a nice t-shirt. I can put on my brand new tennis shoes that I just bought. But a suit makes me feel totally different. And so that's the
Right.
aim of that's the aim of my custom suit company, just to make those men feel totally different and empowered when they have a custom suit on. And so, like I said, it's legacylapels.com, and you're able to customize a suit on the site, and we ship it to you in 4 to 5 weeks. You just give us your measurements and customize the suit, and it's at your doorstep.
It's a great idea. The suits are sharp, because I follow that IG account just for the suits. I've ordered a suit, which is part of the reason why we've been talking for months, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna head out to Houston. We do the measurements. We're gonna do the interview. Bet. And I'm like, hey, bro. So I can't leave Dallas right now because I got to skydive, or like just some other shit. But I'm
Right.
super excited to get my joint, and I got it. You guys got to look at it on the IG, because the promotions you do are just great, and I love that it's an empowerment company designed as disguised as a suit company. I think that's real, and we talk a lot about custom suits on the show, so you are on brand 100%.
Oh man, yeah, man. We got to get your measurements, man, because I can't wait to see you in it. I don't know, you can't skydive in it, but wherever you're going, I know you're gonna make it look good. So yeah, let's get those measurements.
Hey, if it feels good, I just might.
You might, I know, huh?
I just might. But I love the design. I love the inspiration, and we do talk a lot about custom suits on the show, bro. Like
I didn't know.
seriously, between we do. We talk a lot of shit about fashion.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, point me to the episode. Let me go tune in, and I'll go listen. Okay, but so you appreciate a good suit. And so yeah, and I know you did, because we've been talking for months on IG. and I can and I see the suit that you customized. So I see the style. I see your style. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is a guy who knows what he likes and knows what he wants in a suit. So I'm sure you
I'm
appreciate
not even gonna spoil it. That shit is gonna be
it. Right.
so
That's
fly.
why
I can't
I
wait.
didn't say it.
Appreciate that. It's not even revealed yet. But yeah, man, I love the fact that you are trying to build the self esteem of men anywhere, but I see a lot of men of color on your IG, which is just a great look in general because we look damn good in suits, and I'm all about supporting other entrepreneurs. So I'm just happy to be a part of the vision and happy to share your message and positivity with anyone listening, the whole audience, the whole Point Noir tribe.
Yeah, man, and I really appreciate you for even supporting the business and going online and placing a few orders, man. I truly appreciate it. You were one of my first customers, and I don't know if I ever told you, so I definitely appreciate you, man, for even supporting. And then you even gave me some marketing tips. You seen some things I was doing on IG, and you was like, "Hey, try this," and I was
Hey,
like,
bro, let me talk to you, bro.
yeah. So I've been implementing the stuff you shot over to me, man. So I appreciate the support, man, and the opportunity to even come on your podcast, bro. You're doing good things over here. So I'm all in. Whatever you need from me, man, let me know.
Man, it's totally mutual, and who knows? Maybe I'll be getting a custom Point Noir, just whole vest, or something. Like maybe we'll give away a suit 1 month. I think that feels pretty good. We're gonna talk about it because that's the sort of person I am. I'm just like, hey, here's an idea. Let's just make it happen.
Right. Oh, man, look, I'm totally open to it. Yeah. Like you said, man, I want to empower men all over the world. And if I have to give them a suit, then that's just part of the bigger mission, man. So yeah, we can definitely talk about it.
Yeah, no, for real, that's gonna happen. Okay, I got ideas. Oh man, I'm feeling it right now. That's that juice. That's that juice. Listen, man, this is the life. But dude, thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for spending some time with us. We're gonna wrap soon. Y'all definitely check out his book, his website. Do you still do you speak publicly as well?
I do. I have a something set up this week, man. I'm going to speak to some high school students. It's a mutual,
Okay.
yeah, it's a close friend of mine who just wants me to come speak for life into the high school students there. So I've been doing things like that, man, and try to give back whenever I can.
Yeah, man, we got to talk about it all because, success, whether it be in traveling or business or in life in general, it's a full picture. You got to, get all these different disciplines, all these facets of yourself together. So it's difficult to do that. That is a day in, day out task. And I think we can't speak highly enough of brothers like yourself, other guests on the show that are putting in the work and have something of value to share. It means the world to me. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, man. Likewise, likewise. Keep doing your thing, man. I truly respect you and everything you're doing. So I appreciate it.
Thanks, bro. Well, hopefully, if things work out, I'll be in Houston in a couple of days. We'll work this out. But until then, man, we're gonna sign off, man. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me, man.
What better way to start these early parts of 2019 than by learning some simple strategies to apply to your life to achieve all of your goals? It takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of effort, but really these things pay off in the long run. So thank you so much for bringing that perspective to the show, Ramon. Definitely appreciated the vibe. Make sure you guys check him out on IG at Ramon_Smothers, and definitely don't miss out. Do not sleep on the Legacy Lapels page because they're doing great things. Not only is he involved in making custom suits, but custom tuxedos as well. I need one of those. Just got to get my measurements in. So I'm excited to keep partnering with them, keep being a customer because it's dope to support Black business and the stuff really looks good. So definitely check them out. This has been another great session from Point Noir, and if you guys are enjoying what's going on with the show, make sure you share an episode with somebody that might also be interested in travel and adventure and kind of lifestyle and all the things we talk on the show. We'd really appreciate it, and it makes you look good. It's like a free gift on us. All that being said, hope you guys have an amazing remainder of your week. Take care of yourselves. This is Jerry the Third, aka Kimono Jack, signing off.